Hello and welcome back to Poland. I am now here in Gdańsk in the north on the Baltic Sea, and I made my way here by taking a bus from Warsaw. This city is different to the others here in Poland, with its own Baltic influence and history, which we're going to explore in this video. Behind me is where I'm staying. It's called Stay Inn, right in front of St. Mary's Church, the largest red brick church in the world. And before heading out to wander the streets of the old town here, I want to give you a tour of the room. This is my room at Stay Inn Hotel, right in the center of Gdańsk here. Double bed and TV with a couple chairs, wardrobe, the ensuite just here, comfortable and modern. The best thing though is the view and location, right in front of St. Mary's Church, the largest red brick church in the world, and just a stone's throw away from the vibrant old town streets of Gdańsk. So if you're interested in staying at Stay Inn, then again the link is in the video description. They have lovely breakfasts in the morning, which includes coffee, juice, even a dessert of the day, and many choices of main dish, from salmon croissants to continental breakfasts and shakshuka. Very much worth it, and in a prime location, as we can see all the buildings here as I head towards the main square of Gdańsk. Having come out to the canal, I'm now about to enter to the main thoroughfare of the city, the King's Parade, which leads through the main square all the way to the Golden Gate at the end. The canals are behind me, and it feels almost a bit like some of the Low Countries, Amsterdam or Belgium, but then also being a Baltic port, there is a Scandinavian feel too about Gdańsk. Gdańsk has a spectacular old town, but it's one that isn't as known, I think, as Krakow's, especially in the UK. And I would go as far as saying it's a pretty underrated destination because of its affordability, but also the romantic, laid-back nature of it, which feels a little bit Venetian or something, with the different canals and old buildings, although they have been meticulously restored. Feels like an open museum, like the other cities in Poland. Many restaurants, cafes, and souvenir shops along this street. Sitting in front of the town hall here is Neptune's fountain, and there's a legend about this statue which says that it once spurted Goldwasser liquor out of its trident, and then locals scrambled towards it, and then they had to build this wrought iron fence to stop people. Behind it here is the Golden Artist Court, which you can also go inside and visit. And this street continues up the Golden Gate in the distance at the end over there. For lunch, I went to a bar mleczna, which translates to a milk bar. They are all over Poland and serve cheap local Polish fare in a diner style. They're quite an experience for local tasty food at a cheap price. If you're interested in the weird and wonderful, don't miss St. Bridget's Church, which was founded over 700 years ago. It's got the most extraordinary amber altar, which depicts the tree of life. The area is known for amber, and they did not hold back on it here. There is 6,500 kilograms of the polished tree resin. But perhaps even more interesting, you can head down to the crypt of this church, which has plenty of skulls for you to look at, which are believed to date back to the 17th century. Quite an eerie experience to stand face to face with them. On the subject of amber, don't miss the Amber Museum. I've never been to one before and I was impressed. You can see all the various guises, whether that's in artwork, sculpture, and also just seeing fossilized insects trapped in the tree resin. And it also contains the largest singular block of amber in the world. That evening, I went for a nighttime stroll and went to a food center called Sony Splikers, and it's got fantastic high quality international food options. I had ramen there, and not to mention these sublime views. And this part of Gdańsk is stunning at night time, so don't miss the opportunity to wander around the city. Things are lit up, it's quieter, it's more vibey, it just changes atmosphere, and I highly recommend doing so, especially around the canals. I've now made my way to the north of Gdańsk on this slightly drizzly day to Westerplatte, which is a very important place in history. And to get here, you need to ride a Bolt for around 10 to 15 minutes or a tram for 45 to 50 minutes, depending on where in the city you're coming from. And the reason this place is well known is because at 4:45 a.m. on the 1st of September 1939, this is where the first shots of World War II were fired when the Germans attacked and invaded Poland. Walking from the seafront, and just here inland is guardhouse number 5. 7 Polish soldiers were killed here during the German invasion, and we're making our way to the well-known monument now. Here, another building, a cemetery ahead. Guardhouse number 1 here is the only surviving guardhouse, and inside there is a small museum relating to the history of this place, which you can enter during the day. It's a bit late now, so I'm not able to go in. Caution, entry at your own risk. Serious hazard to health and life. These are the old army barracks here, which have stood for 80 years. You can see it's still standing, quite incredible, very eerie. The stairs there and the rubble just kind of hanging. This is where the machine guns were being fired at the Germans from the barracks. Strolling through the woodland on the seashore here, and I'm at the main monument of Westerplatte here. An impressive sculpture rising high. Over there is the North Lighthouse, which is where the first Polish shots of World War II were fired from. You can see the shipyard, cranes, and various factories, people at work. Gdańsk is well known for being a port city, including the well-known strikes from the ship workers in the 70s and 80s. That was one of the starting points for the fall of the Soviet Union, the first resistance movements of workers against the USSR. You may remember from the previous video that I said I was filming on the Sony ZV-E10 II, and that's the same for this video here in Gdańsk. And I've been playing around with it, having a go on these couple of vlogs to get a feel for the camera, and I'm really liking it. We're currently shooting in 1080p, but does 4K, but I'm sticking to 1080 to see how it comes through. And in a vlogging sense, walking around, the background, it's doing pretty well. I'm getting really nice detailed shots, user-friendly to navigate the different options and the menus. So thank you again to Sony for giving me the chance to test out this camera and get a feel for it while shooting a couple of these Poland videos here. I also went on a day trip to Malborg Castle from Gdańsk, which is easy enough to do by train and also affordable. Malborg Castle is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it was begun by the Teutonic Knights in the 13th century, and it was the headquarters of the order for almost 150 years. The castle eventually spread over 20 hectares, making it the largest fortress built anywhere in the world in the Middle Ages, and many of the striking interiors here are inside St. Mary's Church, which has some of the best preserved medieval sculptures that you can find anywhere in Europe. I was really impressed by the quality of the sculptures from the medieval period. I've never seen anything like it on my travels. There's a restaurant on the site which also makes for a great break, as it does take a few hours to complete the tour of the castle. You can pick up an audio guide to make your way along, and it was excellent. Don't forget to cross the river at the end of your tour to look back and get the best view of the castle. You can see all of it in one frame. That's all for this video. Thank you again to Stay In Hotel for hosting me in Gdańsk. And that's the final video from Poland. I hope you enjoyed this short series. Over the last few months, I've slowly been putting them out, and I will update you on my life situation at some point in the future. There's been a bit of a change for me, and I'm uploading a bit less than usual, which you probably will know if you're watching this, if you're a subscriber of mine, but all will be explained at some point in the future as I change my lifestyle slightly. But I still hope to keep making videos as and when I can, and I'll be in touch at some point in the future. Cheers for now. Bye-bye.